Larry Bowers.
How long have you worked here?
It's been since about January of 2019.
What was it like prior to working with us?
Prior to working for you, I worked in the medical field. I worked in surgery, and I was a surgical assistant for retina surgery with 6 retina doctors. I had my own business, so I was constantly working. And it was great. I learned a lot from them. They learned to trust me, and they were always trying to push me to do more. And I'm kind of a laid-back person. I'll support you, but let me stay in the background. And then I went to work in a medical company that provided retina surgery cutting. It cleaned out the eye of vitreous and stuff. So that's a brief background.
What is it like now that you're working with home helpers?
It's still in the medical field, but it's a different avenue, because now I get to converse with my clients. I am like a reporter. I interview them to find out what they did for their careers. Yeah. And some of them, they've had outstanding careers. Some of them have come from wealthy families and things like that. But it's been a big learning experience. So, and one thing, when I ran into issues, I could always call the management team here, and they would provide the information I needed to help me to be a better caregiver and get out of tough situations.
What do you like most about being a caregiver?
What I really enjoy is that I can, like I said before, I get interesting clients, and I can always learn from them, and my goal is to figure them out before they figure me out, so I can be a better giver and not a taker.
Yeah.
And so
learning new people and getting to kind of feel that duty of helping them at the end of the day.
I'm not really good with words, but that puts it right on cue. And the other thing is, one thing I've noticed on this, it's a relationship. And if the relationship doesn't work, it doesn't matter how kind either person is, it's just going to be a battle. And I know that I can call the office and they will try to match me or match the client and me a little better next time.
Why did you become a caregiver?
Well, my father-in-law and my mother-in-law used to come and visit us from Illinois, and their winters are much brutal than the ones in Colorado. And I would take care of him. He had polio. And he has a kind heart, so that made my heart kinder. But I took care of him, and then one day I was unemployed, and my wife says, "You need to find a job." Let me think about that. That's what I said. And she said, "Here, you'd be a good caregiver." And I remember just looking at her like, why would I want to do that? But she found a couple companies. I went for the interviews, and that's how I met Home Helpers management team. And it was just a big hit because, like I said, the HR person was very outgoing and just made me feel at ease, even though I was doing something that I've never been trained to do.
Okay.
And
you felt confident and comfortable coming in knowing that you would have that support.
You hit the nail on the head.
I'm pretty good at that.
But, that was the reason I became a caregiver.
What makes Home Helpers different?
Well, I hate to be redundant, but the management team has always been very helpful. The management team has a caring heart. If I can't take care of my client for whatever reason, or if something came up, they will always say yes. They never browbeat me to say, "You have to go see that client. You're the only one we have." And that's very important because it's hard to find places now that end up taking you under their wing, making you better, and then helping you make the company better by your presence.
What would you say to someone who is thinking about applying?
I think you need to go for it because you'll never know the riches you're going to receive from being that. And if it doesn't work out, at least you haven't failed because you've gone out and tried. Not everyone can be a caregiver. You have to have a special heart. And you have to be willing to give of yourself and help others in their need or their excitement, whatever it is. Because the client has usually had a change and they need support. They want to feel that they're needed too.
Yeah.
Because as I get older, I realize I'll be in that situation sometime, and if I don't have good caregivers, I'll be calling that company and tell them, send me someone else that cares for what I want, not for their own need.
Absolutely.